Hey guys, welcome to the KB Talk Show. I'm Brian.
I'm Chris.
Sorry for the delay. Since school started and we don't live in the same location anymore, it's been hard to get the show up and going up on YouTube. But we did make it back in time for the Super Bowl, which is good because it's the Super Bowl. So this Sunday, 2 days away, Giants Patriots. I'm really pumped. What about you?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a really good game, and I'm ready for Super Bowl snacks too.
You can't forget Super Bowl snacks, the most important part. But it's a rematch. 4 or 5 years ago it was Giants Patriots. The amazing catch by Tyree. The Giants won the game. But they're just a little bit different teams this time around. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I mean that's the what everybody's been talking about for the past 2 weeks. How it's a rematch of the previous Super Bowl. But like you said, I think they're two totally different teams. They did play this year, and the Giants won. I honestly could see the game going either way. This is one of those games where I don't think there's a for sure favorite. I think the odds in Las Vegas right now, I think the Patriots they're picked to win by 3, I think what it is. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a really good game. You do, like I said, there's a couple storylines like how it's a repeat of the game, and then you've got Tom Brady going for his 4th Super Bowl, and Eli Manning going for his 2nd, which would give him more rings than his brother. And also, then there's Rob Gronkowski. But I think it's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. I do think it's going to be another great matchup. Two elite teams. Elite quarterback in Eli and elite quarterback in Tom. Just great quarterback matchups. Great offense matchups, especially the offense. You got Gronk, you got Cruz, you got Welker, you got Manningham, Nix, Hernandez, all these guys. Just a dynamic offense for both teams.
Yeah.
But my pick, I'm going to go with the Giants. Like I do agree. I do think it goes either way. But the reason I'm giving the edge to the Giants is just their hot streak. It was like the Packers last year. Came in as they didn't come as a wild card, but they came as with the wins, the last couple wins of the season. And so, they're just on a hot streak. All the defense and offense are clicking like instinct. They're perfect. Or not perfect, but they're doing really well. Since they did beat Brady and the Patriots early in the season, I think they can do it again, especially with this hot streak and the way they have drastically improved this postseason. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Giants.
I'm actually going to go the other way. I'm going to go with the Patriots, and the reason I'm going to go with them is because Tom Brady even said it after the championship game against Baltimore. He said he flat out sucked in that game. And I think for Tom Brady to play like that and come out with a win, I think he's really going to try to say something about, hey, that this team needs me to play good. And I think he's really going to play good. And I know there's a lot of guys on this team from that previous Super Bowl, and a lot of them are going to be ready for revenge, especially since they did have that 18-0 season going. I think they're going to be ready to win it, and like I said, Tom Brady didn't play too well in his last game, but that gives him all the more motivation to play well in this game. And then another thing is, at Media Day, all the Giants are talking about how good this defense is and how they're going to be able to shut down this Tom Brady offense, and I think that also gives this offense you said way more motivation. And I think especially if Gronkowski is healthy, you've got so many weapons right there on the offense. You've got Welker, all these guys, and yeah, the Giants defense is good, but it's classic Tom Brady. I think he's going to be able to overcome that defense, and I think it'll honestly be a shootout, and in a shootout between Eli and Tom Brady, I'm going to take Tom Brady.
I definitely agree with the shootout part. But I do think the Giants' front four will get to Tom Brady and will apply enough pressure to be able to make him cause a couple bad throws here and there. Ultimately, I don't think it'll completely shut down Tom. I just think it'll be enough for Eli to lead the Giants to this.
I agree, and I think this game could go either way. It could either be Tom Brady against this defense, or if he figures out the defense, then it's really going to be between who's the better quarterback, Eli or Tom Brady. And I think if it comes down to that, Tom Brady is going to say, oh, well, Eli beat me a couple years ago. And I think, like I said, motivation is what the Patriots have. And they have motivation to go into Indianapolis and beat them. So I see Tom Brady winning either way. But I mean, either way the game goes, I'm not going to be surprised at all.
Yeah, I agree with that statement fully. Either way, Tom or Eli, Giants, Patriots, whoever wins, I honestly won't be surprised. Both very elite teams. Either one winning, but either way, I'm pumped for this game. I think it'll be a great game. I think it'll be a Super Bowl to remember because you saw the matchup last or 4 or 5 years
Right.
ago. It was great, but I'm excited for this game.
Okay, well, one question I do have for you is for the quarterback that wins, what do you think it means for their legacy? Like I said earlier, Tom Brady is going for his 4th ring, and if Eli gets it, it'll be his 2nd, which everybody talks about. The best quarterback in the league right now is Peyton Manning, but the way it looks right now is he's not totally healthy. It doesn't look like he's going to be playing in Indianapolis anymore. So if Eli gets his ring, do you think it'll put him above his brother in terms of good quarterbacking? And you're picking the Giants, so just let me know what you think about that.
Well, if the Giants, excuse me, if the Giants do win and Eli gets the 2nd ring, I believe Eli will finally prove to the audience, the crowd, that he is a top quarterback. At the beginning of the year, Eli, he was having a phone call conversation with somebody, and he considered himself an elite quarterback, and most people didn't believe that. But if he wins the 2nd ring, I fully believe that he will establish himself top up there with Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, all those great guys that are playing right now. I think he will be up there. As regards of being better than Peyton, I'm not sure if you can say better. I would go with maybe tying him because I know Peyton only has 1 and Eli will have 2, but Peyton has just done so many great things, and it really depends because Eli he's still got some left in him. But right now, I'm gonna say if he does win, I'll put him. I don't know if it's gonna be a tie, but just a little bit under Peyton. But he's still got more years. Peyton, I'm not sure what's gonna happen to Peyton after this last season where he didn't play at all. But we'll just have to see how these next couple years. But I do think he will be really close, if not right up there with Peyton.
And what I want to say to that is, we saw what the Colts did without Peyton Manning this year. Whether it was a total fluke, and I don't think it was, but I mean it just shows how vital Peyton Manning is to that Colts organization. How he basically is worth 11 or 12 wins to that franchise. And so whenever you lose him, they won, I think, 2 total games this year. I mean, it was not a good year for them, but I mean, like I said, it's Eli's going to have 2 rings and Payne's only going to have 1. But I'll kind of talk about Tom Brady. I mean, people are already talking about how good of a quarterback he will be, not only now, like current players, but historically. I mean, all the big guys who have rings, Terry Bradshaw, Trautman, I mean, you've got to put him up there, not just because of how he plays during the regular season, which is phenomenal, but I mean, for him to also have 4 rings, I mean, he's got to be one of the top 2, maybe 3 quarterbacks of all time. And personally, I consider Terry Bradshaw to be the best quarterback to have ever played. But now if Tom Brady goes out and wins his 4th ring, I mean, you're going to have to put him up there just because of how Tom Brady not only has his rings, but how he also plays. I mean, every season you go in, you're picking the Patriots to win that division just because of how they are with Bill Belichick. I mean, they always have double-digit wins. I mean, 12, 13 wins at a minimum pretty much every year. And I mean, it's rare when they don't win the division, and it's also because there are 2 teams that aren't very good, but as of late, the Jets have been a really good team. And for him to go and do that, and he's the teams he beats, I mean, I know he didn't beat good teams this year, but I mean, he's always been able to beat Baltimore and Pittsburgh and San Diego, teams like that are the big boys in the AFC. So I think that it would put him up there, but I mean, whichever quarterback wins their ring, I mean, I think it increases their number on that quarterback list. I think it increases it a lot.
Yeah, which to add on to Tom Brady, even if Tom doesn't win, I would still put up there top 5 quarterbacks of all time. Tom Brady's just bashed records. I mean, he's been phenomenal. He's been great. So I mean, even if he doesn't win, he's still 3 Super Bowl rings. Still not many players get that many. And so, I mean, he's had a great legacy. I mean, he still has one. I just think either way, Tom will always be at the top of quarterbacks. And Eli, like I said, is depending on how he keeps playing towards the end of his career, because he's not there yet, he could end up there. Because if he does win, he has 2. 2 is still pretty good. I mean, 1's good, just because there's a lot of players who don't even win 1. So I mean, we got top play quarterback in this game.
Yep. All right, well, that's it for this week's show. Make sure to subscribe, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. And next week, since football season is going to be over, we'll wrap up the Super Bowl for you. And then we'll really start getting into more basketball and baseball. Pitchers and catchers are starting to report, so we'll start bringing that information to you. So as for now, everybody have a great Super Bowl weekend, and we'll see you next week.